How's it going, everyone? Welcome to today's episode of Wisdom Wednesday. We got a lot to talk about, so let's get it. So this episode is actually going to be released on my main channel, Ty Wisdom, for the first few days. And then it's going to be going over to the Wisdom Entertainment channel, which used to be Smoke and Toke TV. Still working on getting some of the things switched over, and all the social media is updated. All the links down below are officially working, and they should have everything updated with all of our other new channels, other social medias, everything recent uploaded, music-wise, content-wise. It's all going to be in that link down below. And on top of that, I'm actually very excited to announce the TCG channel that I'm going to be kind of posting some pack openings of, Magic the Gathering deck lists that I've been personally kind of building together. A couple of years ago, I got pretty heavy into Magic. Like, I played it for most of my life, and I never really picked up the depth of how much that game really has to it. I was playing 60 card basic modern format, and actually it would have been more considered vintage because I was using a lot of old cards and things that probably weren't allowed in the current format, but they were just like some starter decks, whatever. And I got into Commander recently with the pre-cons that they've been releasing since like 2009, but in the more recent ones they've gotten way better, way better. So I started picking up a few of those. I spent a little too much more money on those than I'd like to admit, but I ended up with about 24 pre-cons, constructing a few decks through there. When I came back to Oregon, I actually met some people that were in the competitive scene of Magic, and it definitely opened my eyes to a lot better play, I guess. The thing that was starting to push me away was taking an hour to just enjoy one game. It was almost like you're playing a board game version of the card game. When you had 4 players, everyone's, playing pre-cons and stuff. It's like you're playing a board game version of Magic. But anyways, not going to get into that depth of a detail of this. We're going to be doing some deck lists now, though, from everything that I've learned, and I've been able to put these decks together, and they have been running really efficiently. So I'm pretty excited to release them out for you guys, have some comments back and forth, see what you guys have done, maybe have some interesting ideas to add some toxicity to the decks. No, I'm just kidding. But I think it's going to be super cool. We're going to have a lot of cool stuff being posted on there with gaming content. But I would really like to post a lot more of like the Pokemon TCG openings. And I have my nephew he's getting there in age now where he's able to start like communicating properly, and I would love to do like toy reviews or some shit. I've always been kind of wanting to do that, but I just never had that niche to really get into it. And like my nephew a few years ago, he was just not really very social. The nowadays world has a lot of our kids so anxietied up with iPad kids, we'll call them. They don't know how to socially interact with people. And the brain rot has gotten so bad, it is crazy, because parents aren't great these days. And so the screen is the number one babysitter. You give them a phone, you give them a console, you give them TV, and they're happy. They go to school, they come home, they just sit down on an iPad. And even my nephew said this at like 6 or 7 years old. It was funny because even he was smart enough to like realize what they were doing. He says people are too lazy to actually watch their kid or do things with their kid, so they give them video games or put them in front of a TV to distract them because they're too lazy to actually be proper parents or babysitting. And he told me that, that literal sentence, it was crazy. It'd be cool to start that up as well. One last thing I really want to say here, because I know this is actually getting kind of longer than I was expecting. I have a new announcement for my music EP that'll be coming out probably, I'm hoping, by the end of August or early September. That is the goal. So late August, early September. I'll have an official date by the next episode. I have been working on this project since about January. I had about 4 to 5 instrumentals I put together. And as you guys can see, last night I threw this together because I was bored. I was hanging out with a friend and he was kind of going through some stuff. And I was just trying to, just vibe out and just kind of have a therapy session in a lot of ways. Because music for me is very therapeutic. So I kind of just threw something together within an hour, and you guys are going to be hearing that real soon, but it was just something quick, and that's why that's up right now. So we got about 4 or 5 instrumentals ready to go for this project. I'm pretty excited for it. I'm doing everything myself. As I said in some previous videos, I've been doing the production side, I've been doing the mixing and engineering, and I'm going to be doing all the vocal work. once that comes around, the writing, like the lyrics, everything. So, and then I'm gonna have to be doing all the promoting, etc. So this could be interesting. You guys will see that all into the link down below as well. I'm gonna be updating my social medias actively with what's happening with that. I'm hoping to also get some music videos out with these projects coming up in the future. Because of these being my productions, I don't have to rely on other people. Now, I've had some great, awesome people that have worked with me in this, and a huge shout out to Zeka Beats, especially in this music thing. He's a really great guy. He's always had my back, and he's supported everything. So, as you guys know, we've actually done some music together. If you guys go down to my channel and check out any of the beats, I'll say produced by Zeka X Wiz Entertainment or something like that. So all those are instrumentals that he's done, and there will be a link to get any of his beats of those videos. You'll be able to access his beat store. You guys can also collaborate with him. Phenomenal producer. He's inspired me to start doing this shit myself. This is gonna be the first project. I just wanna focus on this EP, get it out for y'all, and really express a lot of the emotions that were built up on this project, because in a lot of ways, it's gonna be things I've dealt with from 2022 all the way up until now. And from struggles to positive things, to friends, to family, to the lost people of my life. All of it's gonna be, I'm gonna try to really put this project together that's gonna be great. And I'm only hoping to do about like 3 or 4 tracks on it because of the new age way of releasing music. It's kind of weird. Last thing I wanna add in on here, July has been a phenomenal month for me. I have gotten into one of the best shapes I've ever been in my entire life. And I have a huge shout out to just fasting. It's been the biggest thing for me. Consuming foods that I only really need versus just consuming because I'm bored or consuming because it's a sweet treat and my addiction of sugar, anything like that. And what's interesting is because I've been doing some tests and I discovered that throughout my entire life, I've been allergic to multiple things that I consume, that I have consumed my entire life. Any sort of sugar, processed, raw, sweeteners, anything like that, enriched in wheat bread. We're talking like anything processed and natural sugar wise, I'm allergic to. The only things that don't affect me as bad is fruits and stuff. And it's not like allergic where if I consume a little bit of it, my throat swells up and I'm dead. It's more of like I break out really bad. And throughout most of my life, I've been battling this. So it was only until I started cutting out a lot of it and focusing on just as an example, like meals that are just eggs, some potatoes, and maybe a little bacon, or like chicken, vegetables, and potatoes, or something like just single ingredient type meals that don't have candy bars, there's no ice cream, no dairy, that's another thing. I have to stay away from dairy, which is hard because I love my protein shakes and they use a little bit of dairy. So cutting out all that stuff, my weight, as you guys know from early mid-July, I was at 198, I want to say. And in January, I was about 210 to 215. I'll have a video that's going to be coming out with all that stuff, going in depth about my weight loss journey, because I'm very interested to share my points of view on how I've lost all this weight. But right there, I'm officially at 180. Which is mind-blowing to me. I never thought I would actually be comfortably at this weight again. And I've been at this weight for the last few days, like 181, 181.5 to a little bit under like 179. I always have that little fluctuation range. Everybody does from water weight. I don't have a scale that properly weighs out body fat, etc. The main thing is I did lose the weight from just specifically eating healthier and just semi being active. I haven't been able to really work out a lot, which I've been beating myself up a little bit about, just because I know if I was losing this weight and working out at the same time, I would be in a lot better shape and position than I am right now. Now I am in a great position. My weight's thin, so I was getting some weight there, and it is nice to actually see it slimming off. I can see my hips again. I can see my ribs. I feel a lot better when I wake up. I have a lot more energy. And that's another thing I want to say too. It's interesting, been cutting out all the breakfasts, lunches. I eat a really big dinner, and then maybe in the early day, I'll have like my protein shake. That kind of ties me over until dinner. Or if I am hungry and I'm going out to eat with like a group of people, I will do like a late lunch and then like a little dinner. Nothing crazy. And So using that protein shake as one of my filler meals has definitely helped a lot. Also, my eating has cut back dramatically too. Where before, I could eat like a half pizza easily. I would consume the whole thing and I'd probably be still hungry. I could eat ice cream afterwards, probably cook up some cinnamon toast sticks and some waffles maybe even. Like, I would be fucking fat and I would just eat and eat and eat and eat. It was more of a comfort thing in a lot of ways. But after cutting that out and getting into just eating normal, eating just what my body needs instead of just consuming just to consume, I've lost this weight naturally. No workout, no sit-ups, no push-ups, just eating healthy and long-term. It did take about a month, 2 months to really get focused in on this. And I had days that I woke up and I was in stomach pains. It took a while for my stomach to get used to eating little bits of food. Now I can eat 2 pieces of pizza and I'm full for the night. That's crazy to me. Like, where before, geez, well, yeah, I would have consumed probably the whole pizza and still been chilling, ready to eat more. So now that my stomach has shrunk down, the energy that I get from my body is so much higher. I feel like I don't really need the breakfast. It doesn't really give me that energy like people talk about. I haven't needed to eat carbs and stuff. I've really stayed away from bread. I've tried to replace a lot more of my carbs with protein. My coffees in the morning even have protein milk that I get from Dutch Bros. I get the espresso shot ×2 and I get ×2 white coffee. And then I get 6 ounces of protein milk put into my daily coffee. And this is literally what I drink every single day. Some days I'll cut out the black coffee and just do the white coffee just because it hits a little bit stronger. And if I need to reduce my caffeine tolerance so the coffee hits me still good, that's the way I do it. Now for August. So I have a lot of goals coming up for August. Like I said, I want to get everything done in this house by the 15th is the goal. I'm going to get everything patched. We got the roofs to fix downstairs. I have the guest bedroom that has a hole where my dad a few years ago dropped a picture frame through it. And so I'm going to get that fixed. There's been a lot of scrapes when we were moving people out and we're getting a lot of things packed up. There's just a lot of wall damage. There's just a lot of little things that need to be repaired. This room needs a secondary coat. That won't take very long, and I won't have to do a whole lot of like moving like I did on the previous episode. But that's my biggest goal for August is to get everything caught up for the 15th, actively get working out, and then also getting my music out. So those are going to be my 3 major goals for August. I really want to say this to you all too, that this month can be your strongest month. If you dedicate the beginning of August till the end of August, just focus 100% on your goals, whether it's working out, losing weight, just focus on one. Working out, losing weight. Music project, maybe content creation if that's your thing. Maybe it's an art project that you've been trying to do, a car project, hang out with people, get like a party put together. Make that happen, man. August is the month to do this shit. Don't be lazy. Don't fucking sit around. Don't just waste this month away. I have gotten to the point where I hate myself now so much that I've wasted so much of my time. I've wasted so much of my time that it pisses me off that I could have used this to do anything better. I've wasted so much of this time that I could have used to do anything better. And that's what pisses me off. And like, you should be pissed off too. I know this is interesting because a lot of people talk about this, but you know, anger is a heavy motivation, especially when it's something against yourself. Don't hate yourself, but I do that just because it's what happens. I don't know. I just tend to hate myself a lot. But be angry with yourself. Get those goals going. And you'll be so much happier once they're done. You will feel night and day different. The dopamine, all of that will skyrocket in a good way. Not just dopamine as in like pornography, eating shit, playing video games, wasting your life away. Do the good dopamine where you're going to be promoting your life and getting healthier for tomorrow. Where you're going to wake up tomorrow and be like, damn, I'm glad I did those things yesterday. I'm glad I was able to get that project done. I'm glad I hit up my homie after not talking to him for 40 years. You know, those kind of little things are very important to do. So make August your fucking month and don't let anyone stop you. That's all I got to say. Ty Wisdom of Wisdom Entertainment. Make sure you guys go check out the links below. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. You already know what it is. TCG Channel is going to be starting up real soon. Music's coming out. And yeah, that's about it. Love y'all. Let's get it.